There is a small shop next to the mushroom house. The shop owner Jiang Mo is a master of folk craftsmanship. A straw-woven pillow can make beautiful dreams. Shoes made of bamboo can stimulate acupoints at any time, promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. Cake made mahjong can be mistaken for real, and eating it can also delay aging. Jade carvings, sugar figurines, paper cuttings and other exquisite handicrafts have been offered a sky-high price. The daily flow of high-ranking officials and people is endless until one day, a black JingA stopped at the entrance of the small shop. The first sentence from the leader is, "Mr. Jiang, I have found you." Everyone is dumbfounded. He Jiong. Sleeping slot, who did I see? Young me, that's not. He actually came too. Who the hell is the owner of this small shop? Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Millennium Culture, How Can It Disappear? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shishuang Edition. Green mountains and clear waters, graceful and graceful. In a quiet ancient pavilion in a corner of the village, a young man gazed at the verdant distant mountain, lost in thought. How to obtain this reputation value? Host. Jiang Mo, age. 245-inch system. National Heritage Inheritance System, skills. Wuqingxi, elementary, Weiqi, elementary, paper cuttings art, elementary, calligraphy, elementary, folk music, elementary, sugar figurine production, elementary, opera singing, elementary, massage, elementary. A year ago, Jiang Mo traveled to this parallel world and was bound to the National Heritage Regeneration System. After a thorough understanding, I finally understood, the ultimate goal of the system is to promote the essence of Chinese culture. Jiang Mo has no objection to this. In his past life, whenever he saw those traditional skills gradually wither and disappear, he felt heartbroken. How can the cultural accumulation of thousands of years in a great country, which should have been continuously passed down, gone international, admired by future generations, and praised by foreign countries, disappear? So, upon receiving this ultimate mission, Jiang Mo agreed to it without hesitation. After accepting the task, the system gifted him a beginner gift package containing various skill books. After learning, I have mastered various beginner skills. The skill level is divided into 4 levels. Beginner level, advanced level, master level, and master level. In the past year, Jiang Mo has elevated all skills to the beginner level. However, to further upgrade skills, it is necessary to accumulate a certain reputation value. To advance from beginner level to advanced level, it is necessary to accumulate 8,000 reputation points. To leap from advanced to master level, you need to accumulate 800,000 reputation points. To reach the Grandmaster level, it requires 160,000 reputation points. Reputation value is equivalent to public influence, and only with a certain level of popularity can one obtain reputation value. Simply put, it means becoming a celebrity and being sought after by the public. Faced with such a huge demand for reputation, Jiang Mo couldn't help feeling a bit powerless. Meanwhile, on the other side of the village, a bus carrying a Yearning Life program group parked steadily in the peaceful small village. The first person to get off the car was a pair of straight and slender legs. Then, a peerless beauty walked out, stretching her waist and revealing her graceful figure, which was the popular actress Yang Mi. Following closely behind are Zhang Zifeng, Peng Peng, Huang Lei, and He Jiong. The air in this mountainous area is really fresh, and the environment is really amazing. The mountains and rivers are beautiful, and the scenery is pleasant. This place of mountains and rivers is really nurturing. Yang Mi lifted her lips lightly, squinting her eyes to enjoy this moment of tranquility. She has a special fondness for this peaceful atmosphere, and the secluded rural life is exactly what she yearns for. Zhang Zifeng hugged Yang Mi's slender waist and joked, Sister Me, if you really go into seclusion in the mountains and forests, I don't know how many boys' hearts will break. You sweet mouth. Jiang Mi gently scraped her sister's nose. Hee 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 hee. The younger sister took the opportunity to bury her head in Jiang Mi's arms and rubbed it affectionately. At this moment, Jiong in front urged, "Girls, hurry up. Mr. Wang is already waiting for us ahead." The two girls then followed closely in their footsteps. 3 men are responsible for carrying luggage, while 2 girls chatter and chat. Wow! There's a fish pond over there. There are so many fish inside, they're so big, they swim so fast. Hey hey hey, look at that bird. Look at its wing patterns, I've never seen them before. Is that a fruit tree? The blooming flowers are so beautiful. Sigh, I suddenly feel a bit hungry. I heard there are many tea trees here, and we can go pick tea together then. Despite the muddy road and another rain last night, the air was filled with a moist atmosphere, but all of this could not suppress the excitement and expectations in everyone's hearts. The mushroom house is located in a remote corner of the village. Push open the wooden door, they met their familiar old friends. Director Wang Zhengyu, Deputy Director He Jin, and the staff of the filming team. There are also animal members. Dian Dian, Xiao Bu Dian, colorful lights, as well as Chai Go Xiao H and Xiao O. Next, the group visited the house. Decades later, the live broadcast has started, and the program has officially started recording. As usual, the opening task of the program is to distribute milk to the villagers. The 3 of them acted separately. Yang Mi and Zhang Zifeng work together, while Peng Peng acts alone. 2 women are walking on the country path, their pure white cloth shoes interweaving with the cobblestone road to create a beautiful picture. Amidst laughter and conversation, Zhang Zifeng and Yang Mi quickly arrived at a quaint Chinese-style pavilion. Oh, what a magnificent house! Zhang Zifeng's eyes were filled with surprise and genuine. This building is full of ancient charm, and the carving of dragons and phoenixes dancing between the beams and columns exudes an extraordinary aura, completely different from ordinary village houses. However, before the 2 of them could knock on the door, a melodious zither sound drifted from afar. Ha! Is someone playing the guzheng? Yang Mi keenly recognized the familiar melody. The sound of the qin is elegant and peaceful, from far to near, like the flowing lingling spring water in a mountain stream, it lightly touches the hearts of the 2, especially under the green water and green mountains, it appears to have a profound artistic conception. The 2 women were immersed in it, unconsciously closing their eyes as if time had come to a halt at this moment. The emotional power contained in music is fully revealed at this moment. 2/4 of an hour later, as the sound of the guzheng music slowly came to an end, the second daughter opened her eyes as if waking up from a dream. Zhang Zifeng's round and big eyes flickered with surprise. Honey, this song is really beautiful. Wow, I suddenly feel that everyone in this village is a hidden expert. Regarding Sister Zifeng's words, Yang Mi strongly agrees. Although she has been learning dance since childhood, but deep down, her love for folk music is actually more than dance. Countless times in her dreams, she has personally plucked the strings and woven a wonderful world of notes. Today, in this ordinary rural area, where the smoke from the kitchen wafts and chickens and dogs hear each other, unexpectedly, such a skillful and leisurely zither sound came from. This made Yang Mi feel a strong curiosity in her heart. Who exactly is the owner of this house? With this curiosity in mind, she lightly knocked on the door of the ancient building and asked. Hello, may I ask if anyone is at home? In an instant, a rustling sound of footsteps came from behind the door, it's becoming clearer and clearer. At the same time, Yang Mi and Zifeng's expectations grew stronger in their hearts. Accompanied by a soft, squeak sound, the door was slowly pushed open. Chapter 2. Integrate several national essence into one. You are listening at novel full.audio. The door slowly opened, as if the mysterious veil of the hidden world had been lifted. A handsome and graceful young man appeared in everyone's sight, with outstanding temperament, eyebrows and eyes like swords, like a graceful young master who had traveled from ancient times. Similarly, when Jiang Mo saw the two women in front of him, his heart couldn't help but stir. Isn't this Yang Mi and Zhang Zifeng? How could they suddenly appear here? Hello, are you the owner of this house? We are from the Desired Life program group, and I am Yang Mi. Her name is Zhang Zifeng. Zifeng's sister didn't say a word, just stared at Jiang Mo in a trance. Her innocent appearance was very lovable. My name is Jiang Mo, hello, please come in. Jiang Mo, who had come to his senses, warmly invited the two of them inside. As soon as I stepped into the threshold, a calm scent of sandalwood wafted in my nostrils. On the shelves on both sides are displayed various exquisite small things. Pottery figurines, dough sculptures, porcelain, jade carvings, Chinese knots, bamboo weaving, embroidery, paper cuttings, which are dazzling, making people feel as if they have entered a vintage and full of surprises grocery store. Zhang Zifeng looked left and right, her eyes flickering with curiosity, every corner overwhelming her. Yang Mi was also quite surprised and thought to herself. Is there still such a unique small shop hidden in the village? However, Yang Mi did not forget the purpose of this trip. She said, from now on, we will be neighbors. This is the milk our program team gave you, and the mushroom house is just above it, just over 200 meters away from your home. We plan to shoot here for about a month. If any inconvenience is caused during this period, please understand. As soon as the words fell, Yang Mi delivered a box of fresh milk. Jiang Mo accepted it calmly and took out a lifelike Shiba dog dough sculpture from under the counter, handing it to Zhang Zifeng. He smiled and said, since we are neighbors, we still treat each other well. I'll give this to you. This dough-shaped Shiba dog looks very similar to little H, after all, Shiba dogs have mostly similar appearances. Jiang Mo chose this gift to give to Sister Zifeng because he noticed the love she had just shown towards her. Wow! Thank you, big brother. Zifeng's sister happily took the Shiba dog in her hand and couldn't put it down, even the tiny beard was pinched to perfection. Yang Mi asked with a smile on her face, where did these products come from? With such good craftsmanship, they must be able to sell for a good price, right? Purchasing. Jiang Mo shook his head. No, I did all of this myself. Did you do it yourself? The two women spoke in unison, surprised. The Guzheng is exceptionally skilled in playing, and can even make dough sculptures. Just as they were puzzled, another question came to their minds. Did he make all the products sold in this small shop himself? So Yang Mi asked directly, then these jade carvings, paper cuttings and embroidery. Jiang Mo responded seriously, well, I personally completed everything. The products in the store are all products that I am satisfied with. Some defective products were discarded or destroyed before. Therefore, the quantity of products in the store is limited. If you like them, as neighbors, you can purchase them at a discount. This statement stunned the two women, and the audience in the live broadcast room instantly exploded. I'll go. He said he made all these things alone. So many. I just carefully looked at that jade carving, and the hollow carving technique is quite good. He actually said it was all carved by him, isn't he joking? Oh my goodness. I feel like I came into this world to make soy sauce. Soy sauce party +1. This young man can be called a master craftsman. I have seen some lost crafts reproduced by him. The bamboo weaving technique is also amazing. It's really amazing. In this era, there are still young people who adhere to traditional skills. Embroidery, calligraphy, paper cuttings. These are the cultural treasures of our country. Integrating several kinds of national essence. And so young and promising. Faced with this situation and scene, the audience in the live broadcast room was instantly shocked and couldn't control themselves, frantically scrolling through Barrage. In the live broadcast room that originally accommodated hundreds of thousands of people, millions of viewers flooded in an instant. The barrage rushed in like a tide, covering the entire screen, almost obscuring the scene, and it was extremely popular. Jiang Mo, who had regained her senses, suppressed her astonishment and gently asked, "What is the approximate value of the Do sculpture you just gifted?" Previously, she thought Jiang Mo was just a small shop owner, but upon learning the truth, Jiang Mo's image instantly rose in her heart. He is a true craftsman. Therefore, the price of their works is inevitably high. About 200 yuan. Jiang Mo responded casually. Jiang Mo was taken aback at the words, and a hint of embarrassment flashed across her face. The milk sent out by oneself is only worth a few dollars, and a casual gift from others is worth the value of several boxes of milk. Thinking of this, Jiang Mo secretly wanted to return the gift. However, before he could speak, suddenly, there was a rapid sound of footsteps in the distance. "Brother Jiang Mo, Brother Jiang Mo." A crisp and tender call sounded. Upon hearing the sound, Jiang Mo immediately stood up and walked out of the door. A little girl wearing a simple top with rosy cheeks ran towards Jiang Mo from afar, her face full of anxiety, and she gasped for breath. "Brother Jiang Mo, milk." "Grandma." "Little child, don't worry, speak slowly." "What's wrong with Grandma?" Her legs." When little girls encounter emergencies, they often become more anxious and unable to express themselves clearly. Fortunately, Jiang Mo had already guessed the general situation. He quickly took out a few bottles and jars from the room, and apologized to Zhang Zifeng and Jiang Mo. "Sorry, I suddenly have something to deal with on my end. Can you tell us what happened? Can we go help together?" Jiang Mo asked gently. Obviously, something urgent must have happened at this moment. If they leave now, it will be difficult to explain to the audience in the live broadcast room. Since that's the case, why not go together? "Okay, let's talk while walking." Jiang Mo closed the door and set off with everyone. Meanwhile, in front of a small house at the west end of the village, a dozen or so villagers gathered, each with anxious expressions. "Ouch, ouch!" An old lady sat in a chair, groaning in great pain. Peng Peng was so anxious that his heart was in turmoil. "What should I do?" Da. At this moment, the gradually clear sound of footsteps came from afar. "Peng Peng. You kid, you were so nervous on the phone. What exactly happened?" The two teachers who arrived were Huang Lei and He Jiong. Received an emergency call from Peng Peng for help, but they didn't inquire about the specific situation. They only heard that the situation was critical and rushed over. "Teacher Huang, Teacher He." Seeing the figures of the two mentors, Peng Peng seemed to have found a reliance. "Tell us quickly, what's going on?" He Jiong propped his hands on his knees, took a few breaths, looked up at Peng Peng, and asked anxiously. Chapter 3. Don't look for a doctor at a critical moment. What's wrong? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In this way, Peng Peng visited Grandma Shen with a box of fresh milk as a token of gratitude, and Grandma Shen returned his kindness with a cup of tea. The elderly, who are in their 70s, already have limited mobility, coupled with old illnesses hidden in their legs and feet. In the midst of this welcome and farewell, Grandma Shen accidentally stumbled and fell, causing a new injury that touched an old one. In an instant, she lay motionless on the ground. Peng Peng saw the situation and quickly helped her onto the chair, then dialed Huang Lei and He Jiong's phone. With Grandma Shen's painful cries, the neighbors were also alarmed and walked out of their homes to explore the situation. After learning the details, Huang Lei frowned tightly and said, "As the saying goes, life has been rare for 70 years, and one's body is as fragile as porcelain. A slight bump can be unbearable. Now that Grandma Shen only sprained her legs and feet, it's fortunate." If she really hit her head, then the consequences. Jiong nodded in agreement and said, for young people, it will take 100 days to recover from injuries and bones, while elderly people have weak physical conditions. This fall is quite remarkable. Is there a doctor in the village who is good at orthopedics? As soon as he finished speaking, a villager responded. Hurry up and find Mr. Jiang in the attic. He has boundless power and must be able to do it. Someone next to him also suggested, don't forget that Mr. Jiang has cured the waist injury of the neighboring Mr. Zhang family. Mr. Jiang. Huang Lei's expression became subtle, and he thought to himself, at this critical moment, not looking for a doctor, but mentioning something about Mr. Jiang, shouldn't it be another act of superstition? During his contemplation, he said to Wang Zhengyu beside him, aren't we equipped with accompanying doctors? Life is at stake, let them come and treat us quickly. Wang Zhengyu replied, we have already called to inform you that we were the first to arrive at the scene. They are still at the foot of the mountain at the moment, and the journey will take at least 20 minutes. After hearing this, Huang Lei fell silent. As Grandma Shen's painful cries became more frequent, everyone noticed that her right ankle was swollen like a huge carrot. If she continued to delay, the condition would only worsen. For elderly people who are already not physically strong, in case of any accidents, oh, here you are. Someone in the crowd shouted, and the originally chaotic crowd seemed to have been cast a calming spell, instantly calming down. Huang Lei and Jiong followed the sound and saw 4 figures rushing from afar. Why are you also here? Jiong asked in surprise when he saw Yang Mi and Zhang Zifeng. I heard that Grandma Shen sprained her foot, so we'll come over and take a look with Jiang Mo, Zhang Zifeng replied, panting and uncertain. Jiang Mo. Huang Lei carefully looked at the young man in front of him, looking childish. In the field of traditional Chinese medicine, orthopedic doctors are usually older, and experienced chief physicians are over 40 or 50 years old, because traditional Chinese medicine places great emphasis on experience accumulation and clinical practice frequency. Therefore, in this situation, it is rare to see the presence of young traditional Chinese medicine practitioners. So when Huang Lei saw Jiang Mo, he couldn't help but have some doubts. Is it really okay to be so young? Mr. Jiang, hurry over and take a look. The old lady's legs can't hold up anymore, a villager urged anxiously. Okay, I'll go over now. Jiang Mo nodded and everyone voluntarily made way for a passage. So, Jiang Mo walked up to Grandma Shen, first calming the patient's emotions, and then noticing her swollen ankle like a ball. Watching this scene, Sister Zifeng's face became conflicted. Who knew how painful it was? Yang Mi furrowed her brow tightly in pain, she couldn't bear to see such a scene. And Huang Lei stood on the side, full of anticipation and curiosity, pondering what Jiang Mo would do next. Grandma Shen, does it hurt here? What about here? Here. After some exploration, Jiang Mo quickly grasped the problem. At the basic level, the 4 diagnostic methods of traditional Chinese medicine. Observation, smelling, questioning, and cutting have played a crucial role at this moment. Among them, massage bone setting is also a branch therapy in the traditional Chinese medicine system used to promote blood circulation and eliminate congestion. Even with a basic level of mastery, its effectiveness far exceeds that of ordinary hospital chief physicians or blind massage parlors on the streets and alleys. Grandma Shen, please be patient a bit. Grandma Shen has been giving him a lot of care and attention since he came to the village. The kindness of dripping water should be repaid by gushing springs, so Jiang Mo decided to give it his all. He untied several porcelain bottles in his arms, and a strong medicinal fragrance instantly permeated the entire lobby. Jiong was surprised and said, the taste is really good. Is it a drop in the bucket? That's right. Jiang Mo responded while being busy, this is the decanter wine that I personally prepared, and its efficacy is more significant than what is sold on the market. Did you personally prepare it? Huang Lei frowned again and pondered. Jade liquor needs to be soaked in precious herbs for a long time to have the effect of promoting blood circulation and removing blood stasis. Without a single herb, the therapeutic effect may be greatly reduced. Can it be said that he is still proficient in traditional Chinese medicine? Hiss. A tingling sensation came from Grandma Shen's ankle, and she took a deep breath. But as time passed, her expression became more calm, and the painful moans had disappeared. Brother Jiang is really amazing. A few villagers couldn't help but marvel. They were amazed when they saw Jiang Mo's hands occasionally massaging, pressing, pinching, and rubbing, with smooth and precise movements targeting the human meridians. Huang Lei's expression gradually changed from initial doubt and disbelief to shock and surprise. I have never seen such a technique before. He looked at Jiong and asked, Jiong, have you ever seen this technique? Jiong responded in a low voice, a few years ago, I had a problem with my lumbar spine and sought treatment from several orthopedic masters. Their techniques were not as smooth as Jiang Mo's. It didn't feel like I was doing a massage, it felt like I was using some kind of internal skill. Sister Zifeng interjected excitedly, yes, I think so too. Just like what was played in a TV drama, Brother Jiang Mo is so amazing. Huang Lei glanced at them and said with a hint of mockery. Do you still use internal skills? Do you think this is the world of martial arts? Although massage techniques have similarities, their purpose is to help the body promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. He paused for a moment and then added, but I have heard that in Tai Chi massage techniques, the highest level is to completely relax. This is somewhat similar to Jiang Mo's technique. Watching Grandma Shen go from unbearable pain to now comfortable and peaceful, this transformation took less than 5 minutes. Peng Peng's face was full of astonishment, and Yang Mi was also extremely shocked. A thought flashed through her mind, how wonderful would it be if Jiang Mo could give himself a massage. Chapter 4, I wonder how much you should push me, little brother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wow. Is this young man an extraordinary expert? This move looks so familiar. At first, I hadn't regained my senses, but when I heard teacher Huang Lei mention it, I really wanted to start something. It's quite similar to Tai Chi, take a look at Grandma Shen's expression. Her relief suddenly came up, and the pain seemed to have eased a lot. Let me go. Can traditional Chinese medicine really take effect so quickly? Isn't it said that the treatment is slow? Are you deceiving people? Are you serious upstairs? This is a live broadcast, how can you fake it? This young man is so amazing, he even knows how to massage and his techniques are so exquisite. The live broadcast room exploded, and the audience was shocked by Jiang Mo's technique. If it weren't for witnessing the live broadcast, they would probably have thought it was a performance. Clearly, the congestion and swelling are so severe. The pain is unbearable. As a result, with a gentle press from him, it actually eased a lot. Thinking of this, the audience in the live broadcast room once again became excited, with barrage scrolling non-stop on the screen. However, the barrage content this time is slightly different. I really want my little brother to give me a massage too, I don't know how comfortable it should be. Little brother is so handsome. I didn't expect his massage skills to be so good. My shoulders are also a bit sore. Can you help me massage them too? It really gave me a whole new understanding of traditional Chinese medicine. Can I worship you as my teacher? At Desired Life Program Group, I'll give you 150,000 yuan. Can you ask this guy to help me massage once? Only 150000. I'll pay 200,000. 500,000. The barrage that followed became increasingly outrageous, with everyone bidding and even someone willing to offer 1 million yuan to ask Jiang Mo for help with a massage. Obviously, everyone was deeply impressed by Jiang Mo's massage skills. In such an atmosphere, people's inherent understanding of traditional Chinese medicine is also quietly changing. After about 10 minutes of touching, Grandma Shen, how are you feeling now? Jiang Mo wiped his hands clean and asked. Everyone clearly saw that the bruises and swelling on Grandma Shen's body had subsided significantly. Is it really so magical? Wang Zhengyu was shocked and said, hush. It's really a bit impressive. Huang Lei widened his eyes and was also surprised. It is said that promoting blood circulation and removing blood stasis is a long process. This is the first time I have heard that massage can have such an immediate effect. Grandma Shen was unaware of their astonishment. She only moved her legs and feet, although there was still some pain, it was not as severe as before, so she stood up with a smile on her face. Xiao Jiang, thanks to you this time, if it weren't for your timely intervention, my old life would probably have been. Oh, Grandma, don't say that. Jiang Mo hurriedly interrupted her and took out the bottles and jars she had prepared before. This is a drop wine that I made with herbs collected from the mountain. It has the effect of relieving pain and dampness. I still have some inventory at home, so I'll give it to you. If you feel uncomfortable again, you can wipe a little bit. If it's inconvenient, you can let the children come to me. I'm sorry to trouble you again. Grandma Shen took the bottles and jars with a complicated expression and said, how much have you helped me over the past year? If it weren't for you, my old bone would have gone nowhere long ago. Xiao Jiang, you are such a rare kind person. In fact, the friendship between the two is not particularly deep. When Jiang Mo first arrived at the village, Grandma Shen only kept him for a meal. The friendship of just one meal should have faded away quickly. However, whenever Grandma Shen was feeling unwell, Jiang Mo always rushed to help without hesitation, which made Grandma Shen both grateful and reluctant. Stars such as Huang Lei, He Jiong, Zhang Zifeng, and Yang Mi couldn't help but look at Jiang Mo differently. Previously, it was only known that he was a talented young man with skills. But never expected, this young talent also possesses a simple and kind heart. He Jiong values young people with outstanding character the most, so he has also developed a desire to meet them. Brother Jiang Mo. The little boy's eyes were pure and curious, and he raised his tender face, saying, thank you. You child, finishing your homework obediently is considered a thank you to me. Jiang Mo pretended to be serious and rubbed the little girl's hair. But the gentle gaze in her eyes, like water, inadvertently touched Yang Mi's heartstrings. He is so considerate towards a little girl. At this moment, a subtle feeling surged in Yang Mi's heart. And seeing Grandma Shen, who was originally unable to move but was now able to get up and walk, everyone's face was filled with smiles. Dr. Xiaojiang is really amazing. That's right, having such skills at a young age is like a miraculous doctor reappearing. The future is limitless. I have seen many doctors in the city, but none of them are more skilled than Dr. Xiaojiang, and they don't even charge for their treatment. This is truly a good doctor. Faced with waves of praise from the villagers, Jiang Mo appeared somewhat embarrassed. He quickly waved his hand and humbly said, don't praise me so much, I'm just an ordinary traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. It's a bit of an exaggeration to say that. Doctors are kind-hearted, and I just did what I needed to do. I thought this would calm everyone's enthusiasm, but it turned out to be like igniting a powder keg. The villagers became even more excited and insisted on inviting Jiang Mo to a meal. They all gathered around, almost raising Jiang Mo high as a sign of respect. Seeing this scene, He Jiong couldn't help but smile with relief and quietly asked Huang Lei beside him. Lao Huang, what do you think of this young man? I haven't seen a young person like him in a long time, who is humble, kind, calm, and doesn't panic in the face of anything. Huang Lei nodded in satisfaction and responded with a smile on his face. Peng Peng lowered his head with a hint of shame. Jiang Mo Gu is really calm. Unlike me, he panics so much when encountering such things. He's really ashamed. Peng Peng, it's a good thing that you have such a feeling. Wang Zhengyu patted Peng Peng's shoulder and said earnestly, be brave after knowing your shame. You still have a lot of room for improvement. Young people like Jiang Mo, who not only have superb skills but also good character, are indeed rare to see. Dingling bell, at this very moment, Wang Zhengyu received a phone call. After answering, immediately, the other person's voice came. Lao Wang, we're here. Where are you? This is a phone call from the accompanying team doctor. Previously, Wang Zhengyu urgently notified them to come quickly. Looking at Jiang Mo surrounded by the crowd, Wang Zhengyu smiled bitterly and shook his head. Lao Zhang, you don't need to come up. What? The crisis has been resolved, no more support is needed. Chapter 5. Suddenly, I have an impulse to chop something. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After bidding farewell to the villagers, Jiang Mo made another statement and was preparing to return home. At this moment, Jiong walked over with a spring breeze on his face and said, Jiang Mo, little brother. What's up? Jiang Mo turned around and faced several enthusiastic smiling faces, wondering in his heart where this sudden intimacy atmosphere came from. The most eye-catching thing was Zifeng, her beautiful eyes exuding a passionate expression. Since she first met Jiang Mo, she felt that he was exceptionally handsome. Later, she accepted his gift. The exquisite face, which everyone said would be repaid by someone's kindness. Since then, she has developed a good impression of Jiang Mo as a friend. However, with Jiang Mo's every move, every word and action, as well as his noble personality charm, this liking gradually escalated, making Zifeng's sister unable to resist and completely immersed in it. So, the scene before us appeared. Jiong smiled and said, I heard from Zifeng that you gave her a noodle face, which makes us really sorry. How about you come to our mushroom house for a casual meal this afternoon? It should be our gratitude. What do you think? Jiong has a great impression of Jiang Mo and hopes to further interact with him. Wang Zhengyu, on the other hand, had other thoughts. When he received a call from his assistant and learned that Jiang Mo had appeared, the live broadcast room was flooded with barrage, and the ratings skyrocketed instantly. Therefore, he intended to invite Jiang Mo to the mushroom. Facing their invitation with different thoughts, Jiang Mo pondered for a moment and politely declined, sorry, I still have some things to deal with here. How about another day? Upon hearing this, a hint of disappointment flashed on everyone's faces. Yang Mi had intended to speak up to persuade her to stay, but she was stopped by Jiong and could only smile awkwardly. Since that's the case, let's do it next time. Jiang Mo, you can come whenever you want. We welcome you at any time in the mushroom house, after all, we are neighbors and very close. Okay, see you next time. Jiang Mo said goodbye with a smile and walked alone to his own small building. Looking at his departing figure, Yang Mi asked Jiong, Teacher why did you stop me just now? Huan Lei laughed heartily and said, Look, with this one move, they have captured our daughter's heart. At this moment, Yang Mi realized that she had just made a mistake and shyly lowered her head, blushing all over her cheeks. It's not like that, I don't mean anything else. I just feel that if it weren't for him, Peng Peng might have encountered big trouble, so it's appropriate to treat him to a meal. Jiong took over the conversation and explained, the situation is different, and we can all see what kind of person Jiang Mo is. When Zifeng showed me that face person before, I understood that he is extraordinary. Such a young person who has mastered many skills must have a unique personality, and we cannot force it. If we want to get close, we must take it slowly. Wang Zhengyu praised and said, Teacher he is right. When Liu Bei invited Zhuge Liang out of the mountains, he had to look at the thatched cottage 3 times. Now that we are forcefully trying to win them over, it may leave a bad impression on people. We should adopt the method of boiling frogs in warm water. Before he could finish speaking, Zifeng crossed her waist and angrily said, Director, you're the frog. Brother Jiang Mo is super handsome, isn't he? Huang Lei pretended to feel heartbroken and said, suddenly, there's an impulse to chop something. After returning to the room, Jiang Mo closed the door like a thief and locked it, taking a deep breath of the fragrance of sandalwood, which barely suppressed the excitement in his heart. Just now, the system informed him that he had accumulated 12,000 reputation points. Reputation point. This is something he has been dreaming of for a year but has been struggling to obtain, and now he unexpectedly gained 12,000 points. Jiang Mo was extremely excited, and after a few minutes, he finally figured out the origin of all of this. It should have been earned from his appearance in the live broadcast room of Desired Life. Within less than an hour of meeting them, we had already earned a reputation point that had been difficult to reach for the past year. With reputation points, one's skills can be improved. Once one's skills are upgraded, they can better promote national culture and gain more reputation points, forming a virtuous cycle. Thinking of this, Jiang Mo's mood became even more excited. It seemed necessary to cooperate with people like Mushroom in the future. But for now, let's not consider that much. Let's take a look at the situation of skill upgrading. Soon, Jiang Mo's gaze fell on the system. A skill that has not been active for over a year, after obtaining 12,000 reputation points, a prominent plus sign appears behind it. Click plus to upgrade your skills and deduct the corresponding 8,000 reputation points. System, do you have any suggestions? Jiang Mo asked. He is indeed in a bit of a dilemma because he has mastered too many skills, a dazzling array, and his reputation value is limited, only enough to upgrade one. Therefore, he hopes to upgrade the most cost-effective skill. It is recommended that the host prioritize studying folk music. Advanced skills have an additional charm compared to basic skills, and after learning, the effect is significant. The system responds with a metallic sound. Will there be a significant effect? Jiang Mo's mouth curved with a smile, clearly showing great interest in the word miraculous effect. Although he initially preferred to upgrade his bamboo weaving skills, what reason does he have to refuse since the system has provided such a suggestion? In this way, Jiang Mo decisively clicked on the plus sign after the skill of folk music. Accompanied by a crisp prompt sound, the folk music option flickered with green light, and the originally marked elementary changed and finally froze to advanced. Immediately after, a massive amount of information flooded into Jiang Mo's mind like a barrage. Chapter 6 Program Team. It's really not what we arranged. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Among the many types of folk music, the most popular ones are undoubtedly the guzheng, pipa, eru, and suona. As the saying goes, the melody of the pipa has never ceased for thousands of years, and the sound of the zheng has been lingering in the heart for thousands of years. A eru expresses the various aspects of life, and with the sound of the suona, one can either ascend to heaven or pay respects. There are many similar folk sayings circulating among the people. Compared to these, Jiang Mo is particularly fond of the guzheng, seeing it as a good tool for cultivating character. After 5 minutes of system information flow, he closed his eyes and his mind was filled with knowledge points related to folk music, like a galaxy of stars. When Jiang Mo opened his eyes again, he felt that everything around him seemed to be completely new, leaping from a simple experience to an entry-level realm, crossing a brand new threshold. The threshold referred to here is not as simple as the secular understanding. The systematic, primary, evaluation is enough to crush all self-proclaimed masters in the outside world, let alone the mysterious, advanced, realm. Once in this state, the pieces played are full of charm and can easily touch the emotions in one's heart. Hiss. This feeling is really different. Jiang Mo raised his hand and virtually pressed the strings in the air, picking lightly with his fingertips. The melody flowed in his mind. Although there was no qin in front of him, his heart had already integrated with it, reaching the highest level of harmony between human and qin. However, in today's Xia country, there are few people who can achieve this level like the morning star. Thinking of this, Jiang Mo couldn't contain his excitement and rushed to the backyard to pick up the guzheng, eager to experience the stunning effect that advanced folk music techniques will bring now. At this moment, a group of people are slowly walking from the foot of the mountain. They are the first guests of Desired Life, Ren Jialuan and Tan Songyun. The collaboration between the two in the martial arts drama, Under the Golden Clothes, has once again sparked a martial arts craze on the internet. When it comes to martial arts, it naturally reminds people of the many heroic characters in Mr. Jin Yong's works. Guojing, Xiao Feng, Yangguo, Ling Hu Chong. Vivid names are vividly displayed on the paper. My favorite is Ling Hu Chong. Tan Songyun replied with a smile to the camera and the audience's questions in the live broadcast room. Ren Jialuan held a suitcase in his hand and asked, "Why do you like Ling Hu Chong?" Tan Songyun glared at him and said with a smile, "Is that worth asking? Mr. Jin Yong likes Ling Hu Chong. And he is handsome and free-spirited, with a strong sense of loyalty and righteousness. You guys may prefer Yanghua and Guojing, but we girls are more fond of Ling Hu Chong." The girls in the live broadcast room all expressed agreement, and the topic shifted from Ling Hu Chong to the impressive guzheng songs in the drama. Indeed, an excellent TV series requires the integration of numerous elements, among which interludes are also an indispensable part. Just like the protagonist Xiao in the Heavenly Dragon Babu, with its own BGM, in Laughing and Proud Jianghu, classic songs such as Blue Sea Tide Song, A Smile in the Canghai Sea, and Qingxin Pushan Mantra, are deeply loved by audiences. Ren Jialuan expressed that he is not very interested in martial arts itself, but he greatly appreciates those songs, especially mentioning, "Have you ever heard of the Qingxin Pushan Mantra?" Tan Songyun nodded repeatedly, recalling her childhood memories. Yes, it was the time when Ren Yingying played. I really wanted to learn the guzheng after watching it, but unfortunately, I was a disabled player. Everyone burst into laughter upon hearing this, and the goddess's self-deprecation instantly became a joyful point in the live broadcast room. As they were walking along the mountain road towards the mushroom house, the sound of the guzheng from afar caught everyone's attention. That familiar melody, that skilled technique, is not exactly the pure heart and universal virtue mantra. Tan Songyun was extremely excited, her eyes flickering with light. Wow! Are your mushroom houses so high-end now? Do you have dedicated music? I didn't even have it when I came last time. The cameraman replied with a puzzled expression, "It wasn't really arranged by us." Ren Jialuan continued with a smile, "Impossible, right? How could there be such a coincidence? As soon as we talked about this piece of music, someone was playing it live. It must have been a prank on the production team." The cameraman quickly clarified, "It's really not true. How could anyone in our mushroom house know how to play the guzheng?" This statement actually stunned Tan Songyun. She pondered, if it weren't for the program team's arrangement, who would it be? Isn't this too coincidental? In the live broadcast room. Oh my goodness. Is this okay too? Is this the true, pure heart and universal virtue mantra? That's right. It's it. Great. You're playing so well, I want to give you crazy likes. Who is playing the guzheng? Is he also watching our program and only playing when we bring up this topic? It's all routine. It must be arranged by the program team. Ren Jialuan became increasingly excited and suggested, "Let's go over and take a look." Tan Songyun nodded in agreement, even ignoring the box in her hand and following closely behind Ren Jialuan. They walked along the muddy mountain road and found an open lake ahead. In the center of the lake stood a small pavilion shrouded in mist. The lake's surface is calm, and the small pavilion is hidden in the mist, full of poetry and profound artistic conception. And this pleasant guzheng music is just coming from the pavilion. The melody of the Qingxin Pushan mantra is like a poem floating in the wind, captivating and striking at the heart, making the two of them intoxicated and unable to extricate themselves. At this moment, the charm of advanced folk music has been fully demonstrated. I am curious about how handsome he is in Chapter 7. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The two of them were increasingly shocked. This Guzheng song is like a mysterious magic that instantly drags people into the martial arts world where swordsmanship, love and hatred intertwine. The sound of the qin was stirring, and the beautiful eyes of Tan Song gradually enlarged, as if recalling the days when they were immersed in the laughing and proud Jianghu. The picture of the world in her heart is slowly unfolding at this moment. In her thoughts, a graceful figure emerged. Beside the small house amidst the green bamboo grove. After light gauze. A beautiful figure is sitting upright playing the piano. This Qianying is none other than Renying. And the sound of the qin flowing at this moment is precisely the pure heart and universal virtue mantra. In an instant, Tan Songyun was deeply moved, standing quietly in the distance, focusing on listening and savoring. Ren Jialuan felt that the scenery before him was as picturesque as poetry, with a gentle breeze and a calm lake like a mirror. Willow branches swayed in the wind, as if he were in a corner of the martial arts world. Coupled with the Guzheng music in his ear, it was even more intoxicating. The cameraman widened his eyes and his mind was filled with confusion. Who is the person playing the piano in the pavilion? Is it arranged by teacher Huang? It's impossible. If it's arranged, how could you not tell me? At this moment, an ant carrying a shoulder pole walked by and Ren Jialuan hurriedly approached, respectfully asking. Auntie, may I ask who plays the piano in the small pavilion in the lake? Are they residents of our village? The scene in front of him was like the sudden appearance of a master in a martial arts drama, and he couldn't resist his inner curiosity. The ant first glanced in the direction of the pavilion and then kindly said. Oh, you're talking about Master Jiang. Yes, he's from our village. Well, he lives in that tower over there. Looking in the direction of the ant's fingers. Ren Jialuan couldn't help but freeze. That is a typical Chinese-style pavilion, occupying a considerable area with a wide courtyard. Wooden carvings of dragons and phoenixes are lifelike, showcasing extraordinary grandeur. Both in terms of painting style and architectural style, they are completely different from Dai ethnic dwellings, like standing out among chickens, showcasing the unique aesthetic taste of the homeowners. What a magnificent mansion! Ren Jialuan couldn't help but blurt out. Upon hearing these words, the ant's old face burst into a smile. Really? Their house is really beautiful. So some people in our village even imitate the decoration and want to learn the style of Master Jiang's house, but they have their own skills. Where else can they learn? As soon as these words were spoken, Tan Songyun suddenly became interested. Auntie, did you just call him Master Jiang? Is he very young? Auntie thought for a moment and said, I'm not sure about that. Little Master didn't mention it before. It seems like you're about the same age as you guys. Girl, how old are you now? Tan Songyun smiled shyly and said, I'm already 30. Oh my, I really can't tell at all. Auntie was extremely surprised. This little girl with a baby face, even high school students, were believed. Surprisingly, he's already 30 years old. This girlish feeling is truly enviable. At this moment, the sound of the qin in the pavilion became increasingly urgent, and the melody became high, once again touching the heartstrings of everyone. Ren Jialuan suppressed his inner emotions and asked, Auntie, did you just say he has a craft? That's right. Auntie rarely met a stranger, so she opened up her conversation and spoke in detail. You are from other places. It's not unusual that this little Master Jiang opened a shop that specializes in handmade works of art, such as jade carving, embroidery, paper cuttings, and so on. What's more, the objects he made are particularly exquisite. He wrote the couplet I posted at home last year. Ren Jialuan said in surprise, paper cuttings. Embroidery. That's our country's intangible cultural heritage. At this moment, he became even more curious about Master Jiang. The aunt looked at the small pavilion across from her and exclaimed with emotion. Master Jiang is really impressive, and he looks very handsome. Previously, the villagers wanted to introduce him to someone, but he had a high vision and didn't agree. Also, if I had to tell him, I wouldn't agree casually. Pretty. Upon hearing the word handsome guy, Tan Songyun immediately became interested, but when she thought of her identity as a female artist, she quickly regained her composure. Auntie nodded confidently and said, "You're so handsome, like someone who traveled from ancient times." Everyone says he came from ancient times. From my perspective, Master Jiang is much more handsome than those male celebrities in the entertainment industry. If you go to film, there must be many people chasing him. Ren Jialuan was secretly amazed in his heart, and Tan Songyun suppressed a smile. The cameraman laughed heartily. Ren Jialuan continued, "Auntie, I disagree with what you said. Is there any way to get Master Jiang to come over? I'm curious about how handsome he is." This. Auntie's face showed hesitation, and at this moment, the sound of the piano came to a leisurely end. She exclaimed in surprise. "Master Jiang. Someone wants to buy your things." Ren Jialuan. "I just wanted to see him, I didn't say I wanted to buy anything." Okay, since that's the case, let's buy one. How expensive can the handicrafts in the village be?" With a ding-dong sound, a wave of piano music drifted in. Jiang Mo clearly heard the call and saw an old man wearing a bamboo hat and a raincoat, holding a wooden paddle and gently paddling on the water surface. A flat boat leisurely moves forward in the middle of the lake. This scene had a profound artistic conception, and the cameraman quickly adjusted the camera, his face full of admiration for the filming scene of the TV series. He remembers that when Mei Changsu appeared on the Langya list, there seemed to be a similar scene. Tan Songyun's heart was filled with anticipation. What exactly does this little brother look like? Ren Jialuan tried hard to see clearly, but unfortunately, the fog was too thick to distinguish. The aunt smiled confidently and said, "Don't be scared later." After drifting on the water for a while, the boat finally docked. "Thank you, Grandpa." Jiang Mo walked down from the small boat and politely smiled. "Where's the point, Master Jiang? I took your money and listened to such a wonderful piece of music. I should be grateful to you. I have to admit, your piano skills are becoming more and more exquisite." The old man had stayed in a theater troupe in his early years and had some knowledge of music. "Just play it casually." Jiang Mo waved his hand, embraced the guzheng, and slowly walked up the slippery slope. At this moment, a handsome and overly handsome face caught everyone's attention. Is the charm of traditional woodcarving techniques in Chapter 8. Kneel down. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Waha. I knew it must be the one from my house. I'll go, Jiang Mo is here again. This guzheng technique is really amazing. This guy really has charm. He even went to the Huxin Pavilion to play the guzheng. At Folk Music Association, I recommend a talented person to you. I can't do it anymore. I'm completely fascinated and suddenly I really want to learn the guzheng. Every moment we are promoting the essence of Chinese culture, it's simply amazing. Can the production team set up a separate shot for him? I really want to see his personal performance. The comments in the live broadcast room surged like a tide, and it can be said that from the moment the melody of the Qingxin Pushun mantra sounded, the atmosphere was extremely enthusiastic, and this heat has continued until now. When Jiang Mo appeared, the atmosphere in the live broadcast room reached its peak. Hush, how handsome. Tan Songyun took a cold breath. She had already estimated that he was very handsome when she heard the lady say he was, but after seeing him with her own eyes, she found that the real person was even more handsome and outstanding than she had imagined. He belongs to the gentle and elegant type, like an ancient scholar full of poetry and extraordinary temperament. In the entertainment industry, it is not easy to find a second boy with such a unique temperament. Ren Jiaoluan was stunned and unable to speak. Although he didn't want to admit it in his heart, he had to agree with the lady's statement. This young man is indeed so handsome that one feels inferior to him. What do you think? What do you two think? I said Chen Shaoxian grew up handsome, right? That's a famous beautiful man in this area. The lady smiled and said, Mr. Xiaojiang, it's these two customers who want to buy your handicrafts. Jiang Mo immediately put on a shrewd merchant-like smile and squinted slightly, saying, come on, both of you, please follow me this way. Our store has a wide variety of products to choose from. The handsome demeanor just now instantly turned into meticulous budgeting, giving people a feeling of being a professional small vendor. But these two qualities switch freely on him without any abruptness. Tan Songyin's curiosity towards Jiang Mo grew stronger, and her round big eyes fixed on him, asking, Boss, how old are you this year? Me. Jiang Mo led them towards the store and answered as they walked, 21 years old. Oh, so young. Tan Songyun couldn't help but feel a blush on her face as the word young and mature inexplicably popped up in her heart. The artificial lake in the center of the village is just a few minutes' walk away from the Guofeng small shop operated by Jiang Mo. Along the way, Tan Songyun couldn't contain her curiosity and asked many questions. Jiang Mo patiently answered them one by one, unconsciously bringing the two sides closer. Finally arrived in front of the Guofeng small shop. As the door pushed open, a wave of sandalwood fragrance wafted out leisurely, with a pleasant aroma that lifted people's spirits. Dingling bell, a gust of wind chimed. On the left counter are various wood carvings and jade carvings, which you can enjoy at will. On the right are woven goods and other small objects, and on the front are clay sculptures, dough figurines, xiaoguijie, paper cuttings and other artworks. Jiang Mo introduced them one by one. Wow, so many things. Tan Songyun stared wide-eyed at the dazzling array of goods, her gaze overwhelmed. Ren Jiaoluan was equally surprised. Although this shop is small, it has all 5 internal organs and all items are arranged in an orderly manner, indicating that the shop owner pays great attention to cleanliness on a daily basis. Ren Jiaoluan casually picked up a wooden carving, which depicts the scene of a carp leaping over the dragon gate. 2 carp leaping into the air, causing layers of splashes, and even the scales on the carp's body were finely depicted. Hiss, are these all carved by yourself? Ren Jiaoluan was shocked by the lifelike wood carving, as if it were a living creature. Can it really be carved so realistically by human labor? That's right, the piece you're holding is called Carp Leaping Dragon Gate. I carved it with a rough knife, round knife, and flat knife for a whole day, Jiang Mo explained with a smile. I'll go. This fish moves like real. Is this the charm of our traditional woodcarving craft? It's amazing. This should be quite valuable, right? It's not a question of whether it's worth it or not. Craftsmanship is priceless. I haven't seen such exquisite wood carvings in a long time. At Longing for the program team, do you have any purchasing services? I want to buy a few wood carvings to go home. I want to buy it too. Buy. Netizens were first amazed by the vividness and realism of the wood carving, and then came up with purchasing ideas, directly asking for it in the comments section at Longing Program Group. At first, this situation did not cause too much turbulence. However, as more and more netizens inquire and demand purchases, the situation gradually spirals out of control. At this moment, the backstage of the program team. A glasses girl who constantly pays attention to back-end data suddenly becomes confused. Since just now, private messages in the background have been pouring in like a frying pan. The most concerning question for many netizens is whether the Desired Life program group provides purchasing services. Moreover, this issue is constantly increasing. The 5 staff members responsible for after-sales service received a series of explosive phone calls. Yes, yes, this is the life program group we long for. What? Woodcarving. We don't sell woodcarving here. No, this is a recorded program and we don't sell products to the public. Where do we get wooden carvings for sale? Audience, please remain calm. We are not sure about the issue of woodcarving. It's useless for you to complain. Jiang Mo. We don't have an employee named Jiang Mo here. Under the bombardment of phone calls from netizens, several customer service representatives looked at each other and were almost crying. They didn't even know why so many consulting users flooded in at once. In this case, one of the customer service representatives had no choice but to call in Deputy Director He-jin. Woodcarving. Jiang Mo. He-jin frowned and suddenly remembered this Jiang Mo, who was also Mr. Chen mentioned earlier. Director He. A female planner rushed over in a hurry, holding her phone in her hand and shouting, "Something's wrong, please take a look at your phone." What's going on? He-jin felt even more confused in his heart. What exactly happened, to the point of being so anxious? I can't say for a while, you'd better check your phone yourself. As she spoke, she handed her phone to He-jin. After reading the content on the phone, He-jin's eyes were wide open, his face full of disbelief, and his heart stirred up a huge wave. Chapter 9. National Style Shop, Rising Reputation. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. The phone screen froze on the Weibo interface. The hot search list is the focus of many celebrities competing to pursue. With popularity and popularity, one can make it onto the hot search list, and vice versa. At this moment, an unknown ordinary person suddenly appeared on the hot search list. A topic with a high popularity of 3 million, ranking 18th on the trending list, tightly caught the attention of He-jin. Hashtag longing for a life. Chinese style shop. Hashtag the rumor of desired life in the community can be called a hot search engine. The program itself has a super high popularity, and even the guests participating in the program can easily get a wave of attention. Take Shai from the previous season as an example. With just one appearance, he stayed on the hot search list for a whole day, not only earning enough attention, but also laying a solid foundation for his subsequent variety show resources and film scripts. It is evident that its benefits are significant. However, to He-jin's extreme surprise, how could an unknown ordinary person take advantage of the trend of yearning for a life and break into the hot search list? This is really unexpected. This requires a high level of discussion and topicality. You should know that the new season of Desired Life has just started broadcasting, and its popularity is still in the climbing stage. The reading volume of Weibo-related topics has just reached over 100,000, and it is still continuing to grow. That is to say, this amateur just cleverly utilized the platform power of the program and instantly became popular on the internet. He-jin glimpsed the enormous potential of the National Style Shop from this phenomenon. Since it is already so popular now, after appropriate operation and promotion, shouldn't it become uncontrollable? Thinking of this, Deputy Director He-jin's thoughts burst out like sparks, and he immediately approached the Chief Director Wang Zhengyu for in-depth discussion. What did you say earlier? Ren Jiaoluan looked surprised and held the wooden carving of Carp Leaping Dragon Gate in his arms, suspecting whether he had heard it wrong. After looking at the wooden carvings in the store, he decided to buy them and asked Jiang Mo for the price. The carp leaps over the dragon gate, priced at 50,000 yuan. Ren Jiaoluan was momentarily stunned. He is not aware of the artistic value contained in woodcarving, but only thinks how expensive the products in such a small shop can be. But when he heard this price, Ren Jiaoluan's expression clearly became ugly. The audience in the live broadcast room are all getting angry about Jiang Mo. I'll go. Do you still think 50,000 yuan is too much? It's handmade and easy to cut. Is 50,000 yuan very expensive? You know this is a woodcarving art that has been passed down for thousands of years, and the cultural heritage alone is worth a lot of money. Not to mention the use of wild small-leaf rosewood. Do you know how much it costs per kilogram of rosewood? 700 yuan. You can see for yourself how big this carp leaps over the dragon gate, not including labor costs. Yes, the most crucial thing is the labor cost. Folk craftsmanship is vast and profound, and many woodworking skills have been lost and rely entirely on machine production. But where can handmade carving be more exquisite and delicate? For example, these scales cannot be replicated by machines, and even manual labor requires a lot of effort to complete them. I'll give you 100,000 yuan, sell it to me. Jiang Mo, could you please take a look at the message in the live broadcast room? I'll pay 10,000. Can the production team help speak up? Renjeluan's lack of understanding in the industry has caused the audience in the live broadcast room to feel heartbroken. They wish to replace Renjeluan in buying Carp Leaping Dragon Gate. It is precisely because Jiang Mo's exquisite craftsmanship deeply impressed everyone. In addition to worshipping, they also hope to purchase one as a souvenir. Unfortunately, Jiang Mo did not notice the interaction in the live broadcast room. Jiang Mo, I didn't mean to offend you. Alright, I'll buy it for 50,000 yuan. Renjeluan gritted his teeth and realized that his previous behavior was indeed a bit reckless. As a craftsman, the most taboo thing is to be questioned about his craftsmanship. He quickly adjusted his attitude and took out his phone to scan the code for payment. With a ding-dong sound, Alipay received 50,000 yuan. It's okay. Upon seeing the successful payment, Jiang Mo waved his hand and smiled, saying, "Welcome back next time." Renjeluan carefully held the wooden carving in his hand and secretly vowed to find a few truly knowledgeable friends to appreciate it when he returned. Jiang Mo, little brother. Tan Songyun walked over to Jiang Mo with a smile and lightly patted his shoulder. I want this. She is holding a dough sculpture in her hand. Although the raw materials are not expensive, the essence of it lies in the craftsmanship. To create an ideal image on the soft dough, undoubtedly, it is a high difficulty challenge. This one costs 500 yuan. Jiang Mo provided the price. Tan Songyun chose a statue of the great sage of Qi Tian, holding a golden cudgel, with flying mane and sharp eyes, as if to break the sky. It is lifelike and stunning. Tan Songyun was quite surprised. She didn't expect a small piece of dough to be squeezed into such a shape, with even subtle expressions vividly portrayed. Turning waste into treasure, this once again proves the outstanding skills of Jiang Mo. But soon, she laughed at herself again and sighed, indeed, I came to this world to make up for it. After making the payment, Tan Songyun joyfully held the Qitian Saint's dough sculpture and asked coquettishly. Jiang Mo, have you always lived here? Yes. Jiang Mo always maintains a friendly attitude towards customers. After all, these two customers brought themselves over 50,000 yuan in just 10 minutes. I live in a mushroom house and will stay for 2 days and 1 night. Can I come and play with you during this time? Tan Songyun asked with a smile. She was full of curiosity towards Jiang Mo and also curious about everything around her. Why is a boy younger than himself mastering so many almost lost skills? Who did he learn from? When did you start learning again? Of course you can. Jiang Mo nodded, happy to receive these celebrity customers because they not only bring reputation but also give him the opportunity to improve new skills. Let's go first, Jiang Mo. Thank you for making the dough sculpture. See you next time. Tan Songyun pursed her lips and smiled, waving goodbye. Renjeluan nodded to Jiang Mo as a greeting. At this moment, he was holding the wooden carving in both hands and dragging his suitcase, appearing a bit flustered. After seeing them off, Jiang Mo couldn't help but smile at the corner of his mouth. The transaction just now caused the system's reputation to soar again. This means he can unlock new skills again. Where did I buy the wood carving in Chapter 10? Does the boss still have any stock? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mushroom House. At noon, the smoke from the kitchen rises up, reflecting a peaceful rural scenery. The heavy fog has dissipated, and sunlight is falling from the clouds, bright and warm. Woo! Woo! Two barks of a dog shattered the tranquility, as little H and little O frolicked and chased in the courtyard, enjoying it tirelessly. The colored lights stand still on the observation deck, like sculptures, creating a serene and leisurely atmosphere. Jiang Mi held on to her flawless white cheeks and looked down. The mushroom house was located on a high ground, overlooking a low and complex of buildings in the distance. At this moment, her gaze was fixed on the ancient Chinese-style pavilion, lost in thought. Sister, what do you think of Jiang Mo? The sudden question left Zifeng, who was playing with the colorful dough figurine in her hand, stunned for a moment. She raised her tender little face, pondered for a while, and then answered. Brother Jiang Mo is handsome, kind, and skilled. I think he's quite good. Jiang Mi shook her head and chuckled lightly. I'm not asking this, I'm talking about his background. Don't you think he's a bit mysterious? It seems like he's hiding some secret and doesn't want us to know. What's so strange about this? Sister, who hasn't pointed out their little secrets yet? Just like my parents have been married for decades, they also have secrets, Zifeng said with a naive and innocent expression. Jiang Mi was greatly surprised upon hearing this and said, Your father. Oh no, it's not that. Zifeng quickly shook his head like a tambourine. It's about hiding pocket money. I discovered it before, and then I scolded him. Jiang Mi forced a smile and said, What happened later? Later, I gave the money to my mom, but my dad was scolded by his mom again. After listening, Jiang Mi couldn't help but laugh out loud, thinking to herself. It's said that my daughter is my dad's little cotton jacket, and his cotton jacket seems to be leaking a bit. Seeing Jiang Mi's thoughtful expression, Zifeng understood and put down the colorful face in her hand, proposing. All right, sister. If you really can't rest assured and are curious about Jiang Mo's brother, I can accompany you to that small shop again this afternoon. It's not far from here anyway, is it? Well, you make sense. Jiang Mi chuckled lightly, but quickly realized it. She blushed and said angrily, Damn girl, what does it mean that I'm interested in Jiang Mo? See if I don't teach you a lesson. Before she finished speaking, she pretended to be about to take action. Just as the sisters were fighting with each other, two figures appeared on the way to the mushroom house, and then pushed the door to enter. Hello, hello, Teacher He, Teacher Huang, Mimi, Zifeng, Peng Peng. The newcomers were Ren Jialuan and Tan Songyun, who struggled to drag their suitcases and walked up step by step. Among them, Ren Jialuan was still holding a wooden carving in his hand. Upon hearing the commotion, Huang Lei immediately walked out of the kitchen, and He Jiong, who was washing vegetables, also stopped his work. He Jiong warmly greeted him and said, Oh my dear, are you here? Huang Lei also smiled and welcomed him, Welcome, Sharon. What are you holding in your hand? Wood carving. Look at you, kid. Come and come, what else are you bringing? After speaking, he gave Peng Peng a glance. Peng Peng understood and walked towards Ren Jialuan with a smile on his face. Jialuan, come on, give me the things, I'll help you hold them. Peng Peng, this is not acceptable. Ren Jialuan took a few steps back and hugged the wooden carving tightly. This is something I just bought, it's very valuable, and I plan to take it back with me. Tan Songyun interjected on the side, in order to buy this wooden carving, Ren Jialuan has invested heavily this time. He Jiong carefully examined the wooden carving and couldn't help but marvel. Oh, this is still made of small-leaved rosewood. This wood is so valuable. Wild rosewood can be sold for 700 yuan per kilogram. Ha! Ren Jialuan was momentarily dumbfounded. What's going on? How could this piece of wood cost 700 yuan per kilogram? After such a little guidance from Jiong, Ren Jialuan suddenly realized. Originally, after deducting the cost, the labor cost of this wooden carving was not as high as imagined, and it can even be said that Jiang Mo even gave him a discount. Thinking of his previous attitude, Ren Jialuan felt deeply guilty and decided to find an opportunity to apologize to Jiang Mo again. Seeing wood carving, Huang Lei also became interested. He had a good understanding of wood carving and directly commented on it. Wow! This carving technique is really amazing. Look at these detailed treatments, TSK, it's really exquisite. Let me tell you, when evaluating the quality of a carving process, the first thing to consider is the overall effect, and the overall impression is very important. Then we need to carefully examine the details of each part. Everyone turned their attention to a wooden carving called Carp Leaping Dragon Gate. Huang Lei continues to demonstrate his professional vision. Let's first look at the overall composition ratio of the wooden carving, which is an important criterion for measuring the value of a wooden carving artwork. You can see that the proportion of this wooden carving is extremely coordinated, with orderly density and perfect rhythm. Take a look at these fish whiskers and scales, they are incredibly ingenious. After hearing this, Ren Jialuan's originally tense mood gradually relaxed. At this moment, Yang Mi looked at the wood carving and felt like she had met before. At this moment, Huang Lei carefully savored the wood carving and then expressed his opinion. For a sculptor, the most crucial thing is to capture the charm of the work. Look at this carp jumping over the dragon gate, vivid and powerful, full of vitality, as if the fish is really about to jump out of the water. He faced the crowd and asked, "What do you think?" Jiong nodded in agreement and said, "Indeed, I feel like the splashes of water are all lifelike." "Jialuan, how much does this wooden carving cost?" Before Ren Jialuan could speak, Tan Songyun answered first. She extended 5 fingers and clearly stated the price. 50,000 yuan. Ha! Only 50,000. Oh my goodness, this is too cheap. Probably 50,000 yuan is enough to buy raw materials, not including the cost of labor. Hiss. Jialuan, from my years of perspective, there is absolutely no mistake. This wood carving is definitely top-notch, and selling it to you for 100,000 yuan is not excessive. This time, you have found a treasure. Upon hearing such words, Ren Jialuan felt a lot of relief in his heart, and his gratitude towards Jiang Mo grew stronger. Peng Peng suddenly asked. "Jialuan, where did you buy this wooden carving? I also want to buy a collection. Does the boss still have any stock?" This sentence aroused everyone's interest, and everyone's eyes turned to Ren Jialuan in unison.